Move on to the business news for you now. And US President Joe Biden, he's made a statement that the pandemic is over, as he put it, has ripples on financial markets, not least, of course, for vaccine makers. Well, our business editor Charles Pellegrin is on set to tell us more about it. Charles.
That's right, Stuart. The main COVID-19 vaccine makers saw actually their stocks lose close to $10 billion in value on Monday after those comments. And investors are worried that the president's comments will fuel more apathy with regards to COVID, thus reducing demand for COVID vaccines and boosters. At the close on Monday, stocks for Moderna, BioNTech, Novavax, and Pfizer were all down. BioNTech, the worst performer, dropping over 8.5%. Pfizer, which has a wider array of activities, saw a more limited drop, just over 1%. U.S. authorities are actually urging Americans to get new boosters meant to protect against the original strain of COVID and the new Omicron subvariants, but recent reports suggest the rollout of these in the country is not going as quickly as anticipated. Joe Biden did follow up his comment by saying there was still a COVID problem in the U.S., that a lot of work is being done. Analysts now saying we can expect vaccine sales, which are supported by large government purchases, could end up resembling the market for influenza shots, which generate close to $5 billion a year. Let's take a look at how the markets are faring this hour. European stocks trading higher at the open, slightly recovering from a tough week last week. Investors awaiting the conclusions of a two-day monetary policy meeting at the Federal Reserve. A 75 basis point rate increase is expected. As you can see, the FTSE in London up by 0.75%, and the DAX in Frankfurt up by 1/3%, and the Paris CAC 40 up by 0.40%. We're seeing Asian markets trade higher as well. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong buoyed by tech and casino stocks, reacting positively to the news that the territory might change hotel quarantine rules for travelers. You can see the Hang Seng Hong Kong up over 1%. In Japan, new government data showing a 2.8% annual rise in consumer prices in August, the fastest growth in 8 years. The Nikkei in Tokyo up by just under 0.5% at the close. This information in Japan led to a slight strengthening of the yen to the dollar, going just below the $143 mark. That was short-lived, though, as you can see, the Japanese currency currently trading at $143.39 to 1 yen worth that much. $1 worth that much yen. It's been hovering at its lowest level in 24 years, leading some to say the Bank of Japan might step in to stem this decline. A Bank of Japan rate decision is expected at the end of the week. And Volkswagen has set the price range for the multi-billion euro sale of a minority stake in luxury brand Porsche. The deal will reap billions to fund the German automaker's investments in new technologies and businesses including electric cars, software, and services. Brian Quinn has the details.
Green light, go for one of Europe's largest ever stock offerings. Porsche is going public. A subsidiary of Volkswagen, the world's second largest automaker, the iconic sports car brand's targeted market value is up to 75 billion euros.
A legend is going public. Porsche. Fantastic. I imagine that the entire world wants to have this stock in their portfolio, so it should be a successful IPO. I think Volkswagen is happy because with the proceeds, they can push ahead with their digitalization and compete with Tesla.
Volkswagen plans to list 12.5% of Porsche. In a nod to its most famous model, 911 million shares will be priced between 76 and 83 euros, netting the German automotive giant up to 9.4 billion euros. Half of that will go to a one-time special dividend for VW shareholders. The rest will help fund the company's expensive shift to electric vehicles, including investments in new battery technology. Volkswagen first unveiled its plans for a Porsche IPO this past February, but Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the subsequent economic uncertainty forced it to slam on the brakes. And the road ahead still has dangerous curves. Fund managers are wary of an ownership structure that will give market investors little say in the running of the company. Meanwhile, other luxury sports car brands like Ferrari and Aston Martin have lost significant ground on markets this year.
And one last story before I go. Grand Theft Auto falling victim to cyber theft, sort of. More than 90 videos and images from the next edition of the video game franchise have been leaked online by a hacker. It was posted on Sunday and is one of the gaming industry's biggest security breaches. The footage showed animation tests, level layouts, and some gameplay demonstrations, and it appeared to confirm a long-running rumor that the game will feature the series' first playable female protagonist. Industry insiders anticipating a 2024 or 2025 release date for that video game, Stuart. Yeah. In a game where basically anything is possible, they hadn't come up with the idea of a leading female character in all those years, it turns out.
Anything is possible. I'm not a gamer myself, but I can just imagine everyone logging on desperately trying to find out more about that. Charles, thanks so much. Charles with the business on France 24.